If you're a politically aware American, you probably have an idea what conservative means. The problem is, everyone else has a different idea. That's because words might have formal definitions, but they acquire informal definitions or connotations over time. Especially in an emotional arena like politics, words can pick up enough baggage to obscure or even change their original meanings. Consider the word conservative. If you call yourself conservative, you probably have a list of characteristics you associate with the word. Ask a progressive what it means, and you'll get a different list. When we can't agree on the meaning of words, communication breaks down. It's like trying to plug a cable into the wrong socket. It won't work. You need an adapter, and that's what I'm going to try to do by digging for the roots of conservatism. Now, I'm not going to ask you to abandon your personal understandings, beliefs, and definitions. I am going to ask you to put aside, at least for a few minutes, any baggage the word carries for you, whether it's progressive or conservative baggage. I'm going to ask you to forget the modern issues and personalities associated with conservatism and think about two questions. What is conservatism about? What is a conservative's role in society? Let's get to the core premise of this video. I say that conservatism is about preserving the good ideas of the past. It makes sense if you think about it. Good ideas help you to survive and thrive. You want to hang on to them. Likewise, you want to remember the bad ideas so you don't repeat them. You're cautious about new ideas because you recognize the simple observational fact that even an idea that looks great on paper doesn't always work out well in the field. You can think of some examples yourself. The Titanic, the Patriot Act, Windows 8. Even ideas that turn out to be mostly good can have unintended consequences. Agriculture is an example. There's no denying that agriculture enabled the development of modern civilization, but there are problems associated with the practice. If you're conservative, you're going to be cautious about new ideas because you recognize that they can break either way. Doesn't mean you reject all new ideas. We're not idiots, we're just cautious. If you're consciously conservative, your chosen role is to help your tribe survive and thrive by serving as an idea filter. Here's how it works. Every day we face decisions as individuals, families, and tribes, and a lot of those decisions boil down to a simple question. Are we going to do the same thing today, or are we going to do something different? The conservative answer is we do the same thing. We plant corn this way because it worked last year. The progressive answer is that we do something different. We plant corn a new way because we might get more corn. Conservatives remember, progressives imagine. Conservatism, the preservation of the good ideas of the past, is a proven survival strategy. That's because in a stable environment, the behavior that kept you alive yesterday will probably keep you alive today and tomorrow. Similar conditions and challenges require similar responses, something that some progressives don't understand. What's hard for some of my conservative compadres to understand is that progressivism can also be a survival strategy. That's because things change, and when things change, the lessons of the past don't always show you the way forward. Conservatism is past-directed, so it's not well equipped to adapting to new conditions. That's why a lot of conservatives value progress more than they think they do. If you don't believe me, then picture yourself at a barbecue with some conservative friends. You're slicing up meat you cooked over a fire, serving it with rolls made of farm grain that you bought at the market, and thanking Jesus that you live in America. It's a pretty conservative day out, right? Except that you're celebrating a whole rack of progressive achievements. The invention of durable tools, the mastery of fire, agriculture, the free market, monotheism, modified monotheism, even America itself. These were all major progressive changes in human society. What's a good conservative like you doing celebrating all that progressive stuff? You're celebrating because even though we resist new ideas, a few good ones make it through and prove their worth over time. When that happens, the progressive idea becomes part of conservative lore. That's right, progressives. All your good ideas belong to us, eventually. So how do you fulfill your conservative role? History teaches us that you can't ignore new ideas, but you have to be cautious about adopting them. We need a way to filter the good ideas from the bad. And that's the challenge for a modern conservative. How do you tell a good idea from a bad one? Luckily, we have a working answer. You judge ideas based on reason, evidence, and established knowledge. In other words, to be a good conservative idea filter, you need to think a little bit like a scientist.